What's going on, guys? Daric here from DaricBennett.com. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the website or welcome to the channel. You could be watching this on YouTube or Facebook, or doesn't matter. I'm just glad you're here. All right, if you haven't visited the site yet, go head over to the site, submit your email address, start your free trial, become a part of the Bass Nation. All right, if you're returning, you know what we do here. Grab your bass. Let's get started. So, pretty simple, right? Pretty easy. All right, I know you guys got it. All right, let me just break this down a little bit. Okay, as you see, this is focusing a little bit more on the right hand technique versus the left hand. I mean, you're definitely working your left hand, but the left is concentrated more on the right hand. You'll definitely start feeling the burn if you do this for a couple minutes or so, about 10 minutes or so. If you do that, you'll definitely feel the burn in your right hand. All right, so I want to talk about right hand techniques. It's one of the most asked questions that I get all the time. What are some exercises for right hand techniques? So as you see, I implemented that inside of a groove. So I always say, whenever you're practicing a technique or an exercise, always try to add some flavor to it. Always try to add a groove to it, make it into a groove, or, you know, make it interesting. Okay, so it doesn't just become a technique, so you can implement it inside your playing. It becomes that much more easy to implement that in your playing when you make it into a groove versus it just being a offset exercise. All right, so I always try to do that with any exercise that I do or that I teach or that I learn. So I was playing that in the key of D. All right, so we're not going to focus too much on the notes right now. We're just going to focus more on the right hand. All right, so if you can pay close attention to the right hand, it's constantly moving. It's constantly doing 16th notes. Okay, so get that technique down, going back and forth on just one string. Just practice that on one string if you have to. If you haven't got that technique down yet, just the 1 2 1 2. All right, index, middle, back and forth. I mean, it's very important. If you haven't learned yet, or if you haven't discovered yet, very important to go through the string. All right, through the string up to the next string. All right, and your finger stops right at the next string above it. All right, go through the string for both fingers. For all strings. All right. So you get that technique down first. You start that off first, and then you can add your left hand to it. All right. So you don't have to focus too much on the left hand because you already have this down packed. All right. So practice that technique. Start off slow, like I always say. Start off slow. Go ahead and gradually speed it up. All right. This is great to do with a metronome. As you heard in the beginning, I had a metronome going just to keep the time, keep the pace. It's very important to practice with a metronome. I can't stress that enough. I've said that in so many other of my tutorials and my one-on-ones. The whole groove is based off of that 1 2 1 2 1 2, consistently moving. All right. So I played 1 2 on the D. All right. So that's on the A string, 5th fret. 1 2, and then the octave to that. All right, 7th fret, G string. All right, so it's a quick jump. All right, because you're skipping a string. This makes it a little bit tougher because you're skipping strings now. So 1 2 1 2. Very important to have these notes separated too. You don't want them running into each other. So you don't want that. You want them separated. So it's very important to mute those notes and cut them off at the right point. All right, you want that clean sound. All right, so what I did, I just moved that same pattern around. I just moved that around. So I went from the D to the B, moved it up again, and then we're back at D. All right, so it's a quick movement. So in order to get that in time, you have to practice that with a metronome, to stay in time, I should say. So to keep that in time. Boom, boom, bam, bam, boom, boom, bam, bam, boom, boom, bam, bam, boom, boom, bam, bam. Make sure the notes are coming out clear and make sure you're muting correctly. All right, I'll have a whole nother lesson, a whole nother course on muting. All right, so I won't spend too much time on that today. I want you to get the right hand technique down. This will definitely help out when you're playing these types of lines and these types of grooves or bass lines. So that's the first part. That was the first part of the groove. Very simple, 4 notes. B, C, C sharp, D. Okay, so I'm working with the 4 notes in the beginning. The next part of the exercise, the next part of the groove, all right, I started on the D again, started the same way. All right, so we got, to get full access to the rest of this lesson, you want to head over to DaricBennett.com if you're not already there, to start your free trial today. All right, you won't regret it. We got new advanced lessons coming up every single week for our members. We even have an interactive forum where you can ask anything you want. I'll be able to answer any questions you have, and just interact with all types of bass players around the world. All right, so go start your free trial. Until next time,